So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's a Tuesday. Time for our Tuesday grid here. I'm having a white wine Schorle, so just a sparkling water with a lovely dry white German Grauburgunder. I was going to open a Riesling, but it wasn't quite cool enough yet. Even though there's ice involved, it makes no sense, but really. And so, Schatzi's in Regensburg. She went with a friend to go pick some stuff up, so I am here, but I'm with you, and everything is great, and oh, we've got wine, we've got time. Let's knock it out. Gorgeous weather today. Very cold in the mornings, though, I gotta tell you. But the sun creeping out makes it all the better. And so the dictionary.com word of the day is betimes, which is just an adverb meaning early and in good time. And that's kind of how I feel about everything. It's like that's the way I should just be. You know, if you're on time, you're late. Kind of learned that in the Army, but really I knew that before the Army, right? I would always leave for an important appointment to get about 30 minutes there ahead of time. And then I'd have time to find a parking spot, kind of scout where I'm going to, know when I need to leave my vehicle, and so on and so forth. So, but times, good times. I like that very much. So, getting ready here, working on my posture as always, especially after a long day of slouching at the office, traipsing in and out of clinics and stuff all day. We have a Kevin Curry construction. Oh yeah, the name's familiar. This is going to be good, I bet. Edited by Will Short. So for Tuesday, August 25th in the Common Era 2025, let's hop into this grid and see what we've got here. And I better grab the right mouse. I've only got 3 right in front of me. 2 white, 1 black one. And I thought I had a system for... No, I don't. So something tapped at a bar could be a keg, and let's just play in this corner here. So didn't tell as a secret, maybe kept. You know, and that's kind of me. I just don't talk about anybody. I don't talk behind their back. I just don't do that stuff. I mean, I really despise it, actually. You know, I don't get involved in that little stuff. I mean, like, you know, did you hear about so-and-so? Oh, yeah. No, I don't ever want to be accused of being that guy. So I think we got Ecru here for our light beige. British Weekly on Business, Politics, and Culture with The Economist. I am a big reader, but I need to spell this correctly. And let's see, blooper could be a goof, maybe. University just north of Harvard could be Tufts. A little fastener could be a nut. So, all right. One's taking baby pictures in the delivery room, maybe. Well, I'm going to go with Proud Papas because I don't know. After watching Shotzi give birth 3 times, I don't think they're much in the mood to photograph themselves at this point. Combatants in the Titanomachy, and that would be the gods. So, Wrath of the Titans for sure. Blank monster, only venomous lizard native to the U.S. That's scary. Venomous. The Gila monster. And former NPR host Hanson, and that would be Leanne. We used to look forward to Sunday edition. Every Sunday morning, we'd be laying in bed, sleeping off whatever horrible thing we did to ourselves in our youth. And we'd be listening to Will Short's, you know, on his little segment with Leanne Hatson and stuff. And the people would write in, you know, they'd try to solve the puzzle of the week and stuff like that. And I just lived for that stuff. So overall impact in line with, as per, sounds so formal, comic actor Jacques Tati. He's been popping in an awful lot. I don't really think of him much as a comic actor as much as a great auteur, you know, as a great filmmaker. But yeah, he did have his start, and I think he was a mime in the early days. Now, I could be altogether wrong about that. So I think the overall impact might be a net effect. And beginning of consciousness. Perhaps this is a little bit of that self-awareness that we need to know about, maybe try to practice. You know, I had someone write a letter of recommendation, or it was a character reference. I usually get one at the end of every job. In fact, I've never had a job that I don't have a character reference from the boss, right? You know, because I just don't I don't tend to do poorly in employment. I don't leave on bad terms or anything, you know. But I like to have that. But one of them said one time that I had a remarkable sense of humor and that I was remarkably self-possessed. And I don't know about the humor part, which I appreciate that. But to be called self-possessed, that's good. That's a good thing. Go caroling, maybe to sing. Of course, it sounds solipsistic to the untrained ear, but really, it doesn't mean anything, like that at all. I mean, it's a very nice thing to say about somebody. It's very kind. Devil's center appropriately. I guess we could be talking about the center of the word, which would be evil. So let's see. Largest human muscle, and formally it sounds like it could be a glute, unless we're talking about me. I'm one of those skinny rear-end kids from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. No glutes to talk about. Stead in lieu. Mother's daughter's daughter, perhaps. A niece. Look here. Now, see here. Okay, so group of elite colleges could be the Ivies. And A&W specialties. How about floats? And like drone photography could be aerial. And so what do we got here? Sailors. How about able seamen? Able seamen. Tavern owner who's often pranked by Bart Simpson. I guess that would be Mo. And source of a certain essential oil. And I'm going to assume we're talking about tea tree. And renewable gasoline additive. How about ethanol? Ethanol. Thank you, Sue. Picked up on that one. Appreciate that. Let's see. Hush. Hush. How about on the DL? On the down low. On the down low. Ultimatum word. Else. Goose of Hawaii would be the nene. And idyllic spawn. Okay. And they spike during the holidays. Well, a lot of stuff spikes during the holidays, but sure, sales are in there. And cry to a captor. Release me? Okay. Release me this instant. Big blank, college conference. I want to say Big Easy so bad, but I know it's the Big East. But being somewhat of a fan of New Orleans in the wintertime. I always want to say the Big Easy, but the Big East. All right, so common sushi fish could be tuna, ahi, when a plane is due in brief, ETA, MSN, toilette, water, l'heure. So carpenter or plumber's kit could be a tool set. Today in Tijuana would be Hawaii. That's unbelievable. Whoa, now. Back up a second. Did you really, Brian? Did you really? Cutlass, as an example. Ooh, that's a good one. We're looking for a sword here, but that could have easily been a sedan too, couldn't it? If all you had that was that S, that could have been a bit deceiving. Shot that made its NBA debut in 1979, the year my darling Unsel was born, and that would be a tray. And fruit traditionally eaten with the fish it's named for. Well, that's kind of a dead giveaway. Though I've had a lot of salmon in my life, I don't think I've ever had a salmon berry. Maybe, I don't know. Make a typo could be to air. My gut says... I'll get this B smack dab in the middle of this. So I'm going to go with I'd bet. I'd bet. And let's see what that does for us right there. That's unbelievable. Ace in the hole. Okay, so some pre-streaming purchase, music purchases would be CDs, I guess. And so I guess this is a lie. That's unbelievable. Well, actually, sometimes they are believable, and that's what makes them so insidious, you know. Marilyn Monroe or Britney Spears, and I guess we're talking about Blonde. O-N-D-E. Unusual feature of this puzzle. I don't know yet, but I haven't even gotten around to the puzzle yet. So Italian scooter brand, going with the Vespa. I really feel like Shotzi needs one of those. She needs like a red one with one of those 70s style motorcycle helmets that's like white. It's got the red and the green stripes, you know, for the Italian flag. That's what she needs. She needs that. Global movement to end violence against women, and I think that's V-Day. We're all about that here, especially. Fish that can burrow into the seabed, looks about an eel. So let's check that D from V-Day. Darlings could be deers. And I guess this is going to be asymmetry, which is interesting. What you'd expect when you're expecting. Subtle acknowledgement could be a nod. So I'm assuming this will be norm. And certain parent, be mom, me mom. And spot for cats and rats. How about an alley? And therefore, like goods bought before they hit the shelves, could be pre-ordered. Okay, so let's see. Highest level of minor league baseball, that would be the Triple A's. Now, I think Toad Hall, Wind in the Willows, Residence, Anti-Trafficking Org, how about the DEA? And broadcasts could be airs. So we've had a fun grid here today. A la what? A la carte? I really don't know. Study of the mind for short. Well, I did a graduate program in this as well. It would be Cog Sci. Fascinated with that stuff. Just fascinated with it. My cognitive science perspective was applied linguistics, and I tell you, I really just loved that, right? I mean, it was the best. And I had the best class in that course of study. It was a postgraduate certificate program, and my favorite class was etymology. I mean, I really, really liked the etymology class. Attire for a contemporary dancer. I guess we're talking for a unitard. And let's see, a la carte. Okay, well, I just needed to be told. Apt name for a socialite could be a Deb. And like a good sharpshooter's hand, steady. Gotta have a steady hand operation. Donate, could be to give. What the shepherd heard, perhaps, would be a bleat. A bleat. First year legal student, informally could be a 1L, and R as in Rolls Royce. Reverse, and where the sidewalk ends could be the curb. And I don't know, we could have fat fingered something easily, but how did we do, Bob? Okay, and so, oh hey, yeah, wow. There's a lot of A's that line up there, aren't there? That's pretty cool. Okay, I mean, not the easiest of Tuesdays here. I can always tell when hiccups are coming on, and boy, they are. Where the sidewalk ends the curb. I mean, nothing out of the crazy angles here today, but this is not your typical graduate from Monday and move on to Tuesday crosswords. And so, yeah, this is going to be a bit more challenging. This felt more of a Wednesday with some Thursday fill. And I honestly don't even know what a salmonberry is. I've heard of them. I mean, obviously, but I don't think I could recognize one in a lineup, you know. Not that berries do perp walks or anything, but I'm just saying I don't believe I'd even know what one looked like. Certainly heard about them all my life. Made sense as soon, but I had no idea that they were actually, I mean, if you would have asked me, hey, did you know that salmonberry is actually just another name for salmon caviar? I'd be like going, we eat salmon caviar? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's what I would have said. I mean, I would have known. So I guess I learned something new here today. By all means, I thought that was pretty cool. On the whole, fantastic grid. And I got to say, this is the kind of Tuesday you want to construct. So this was a beautiful job, Kevin Curry. I mean, really outstanding product here all the way around. So kudos. Well done, bravo. So we'll bring down a Bannier Dad. Do you? And finish that one. We'll have to remake another one for the Guardian Cryptic, which comes right after this one. So I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing. Subscribers we're on the road to 8,000 at this point, which is pretty amazing. And again, like I always say, I never knew we'd have more than 800. So I just didn't think there was that many people interested. But we have such a tight and beautiful community. So if you don't mind hitting the like button, it would be really great. It would help build the algorithm as such that we bring more of the same types of people together, because we have a wonderfully kind and generous and intellectually gifted community here. And I've just been so impressed with that. And so, you know, if you haven't subscribed, I got 2 ring fingers. One of them is free. So you can make a commitment. It doesn't cost a dime. And I would love to have you on a more permanent basis. That would be fantastic as well. You don't have to always watch, but at least we're there when you want to. And so until we see you next time, which is tomorrow for the Hump Day Grid and the Wednesday Guardian. Apparently that's not something too well understood in the UK, so we won't say Hump Day in the UK. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there, and we will see you on the morrow. Until then, just try to be nice to strangers, right? And remember, the thicker the foreign accent you encounter, the braver, hardier, more courageous the soul who's speaking in that voice. Be well. We'll see you on. Be good. Cheers.